Well, so anyway, quiet quitting was a big trend that blew up on TikTok, and all these young people are basically coming up with a new way to say something that's been going on for a long time. Okay, so a quick review, because we're about ready to show you a wildly popular TikTok. Well, so quiet quitting was the young generation's way of basically saying, I'm not going to do any more at work than is expected of me. Above and beyond, forget it. I feel devalued. I feel like I work hard enough as it is. I'm only going to do the bare minimum. Now, this is not a new concept. Gallup, the most respected polling data firm in the world for over 10 years, has put out a work survey every year, and it's like the Bible to me. I read it cover to cover. And I've been saying this as long as the Ken Coleman Show has been going. The data hasn't changed, that 68% of American workers are disengaged. Now, that does not mean they hate their job. It just means they're quiet quitting. So I roll my eyes when I get media requests to talk about quiet quitting because I'm middle-aged. Well, so now there's another version. Long setup, but I have to set it up. So the new version is called Act Your Wage. So here is a wildly popular TikTok from a gal by the name of Sarah. I hope I'm saying that right, or is it Sarai? It's spelled Sarai. And I don't want to butcher her name, but let's call her Sarah Marie. And she's based in Florida, and she does a lot of content. And this TikTok I'm about to show you has gotten 12 million views and counting, and we're going to comment on this. Let's roll this.
Do you even know how to do your job? I don't understand what...
Hey, Veronica, I'm going to have you take this home and work on it tonight, okay? Respectfully, Susan, I'd rather spend time with my family.
Okay. Can I pause that? Can we pause
Veronica,
that for a second?
Did you just decline the Zoom meeting that's at 6:30 tonight?
Okay. I should have warned you that this character that she's playing, and she's very talented, this young gal. This character is the most obnoxious character I think I've ever seen, even on television. It's Saturday Night Live level, so I give her props. But this is an annoying character, so you're going to have to put up with this. And she's obviously playing the role of her boss, and then and the character is Susan is the boss, and Veronica is the obnoxious worker. All right, so this is what's going on, and I can barely make my way through it. Let's keep going.
Oh, yeah, I did do that. Yeah, because it's outside of my working hours, 9 to 5, so I won't be attending. All right, Veronica, I do need you to be available during your vacation, okay? Susan, you'll be blocked.
I particularly struggle with that part.
Because I won't be answering.
Oof.
Okay, Veronica, I'm going to need you to complete all of this today. Susan, do I look like two people to you?
No.
Oh, okay, just making sure. Because that looks like the work of two people, right? And I'm one. I'm just one person, right?
Okay, all right. All right, I've had my fill, and I think we've made the point. All right, so what is she doing there? And this is for those of you that aren't on TikTok, this is a very normal thing, the role play back and forth. And she's pointing out some absurdities that and again, I'm not criticizing the video. I think she did a good job with it. The character's so obnoxious that I can barely watch it, but it's funny to people, and I get it. But she is pointing out with satire some extremes. The idea of I'm expecting you to work on your vacation, or I'm delivering a pile of work this high that you have to get done. You have to be available after hours. And while she is in some ways pointing out some absurdities and the way she's doing it, she is in fact, I believe the reason it's gotten 12 million plus views is because she's hit a nerve. And the nerve is that people feel overworked and undervalued. So that's where she's crushing it. And so she's done a really fun job with the kind of playing this thing back and forth. But people do feel overworked and undervalued. And when that begins to happen, let me tell you what really develops below the surface. Us versus them. Because the workers begin to talk about this. The manager sometimes is not an evil person. In fact, many times I'm going to say the manager is not a bad person. They may be a bad manager, but maybe they've never been taught how to lead. Maybe they're overwhelmed, and I'm not making any excuses for poor leadership here, because even if the manager's overwhelmed and has to get a lot done, the manager's got to sit with people and say, hey, we've got some fires we got to put out. What's the best way to put those fires out without burning you out? And so can we go to the second video? Do we have time to show briefly the second video? She does another one where she's flipping it. So that was the perspective of the worker. And now she's coming at it from the manager side. I want to show just a little bit of this. Let's roll that.
Have a seat, Veronica. Okay. So first it was quiet quitting. Now you told everyone in the office to act their wage? Yeah, I did do that. Yeah. Veronica, you're causing a revolution across all 57 of our offices. You need to stop. What does that even mean?
Oh, yeah. So you know how this company doesn't pay us a livable wage and they don't care about us at all?
This company does care about
All
us.
right, we got the idea there. I can only handle so much of that character. But again, so now she's showing the perspective from leadership, where leaders are going, hey, stop talking to everybody else out there. This whole act your wage thing. We're seeing like Starbucks is in the middle of a huge fight right now with several of their stores that are trying to unionize. And so this is an example, and she does a wonderful job again on this TikTok of now she's showing the angst and the tension that leadership is feeling. She nails it. And they're missing the point. And this is what I love about what she just did there. Leaders are coming and going, hey, look, why are you doing this? Why are you talking about this? Instead of going, wait a second, what do I need to do? What do we need to do as leaders to make people feel valued? Listen, people will work hard for you, leaders. They'll work really hard. They'll go above and beyond if they feel cared for, if they see meaning and purpose in their work, if you recognize them for their unique contribution. If you have an actual relationship with them to be able to see that they're starting to fray so they don't have to come in and tell you. We have a crisis of leadership in this country because leaders have forgotten how to love people. And so workers are going to act this way. And good on them in the sense of you got to put up some boundaries. Now, here's the thing about these TikTok trends. And if you take what she's doing, which is wonderful satire, and you start to adopt that attitude and you let that seep out, now you got to be careful. So do I think that this is a good trend if it helps younger workers or workers of any age create boundaries? Yes. This is good. This sentiment, this angst, this drive for change is good for you to set up boundaries. Mature conversation with your leader to let them know where you are and what you need. If they don't care, then you leave. Well, we got to be very careful that it doesn't turn into acting like a baby at the office. We start sticking our little rumps in the air, walking around, acting like we're victims. That's going to end up hurting you. You just don't need to get fired. I'd rather you leave on your own and leave well. This doesn't need to be a revolution. There just needs to be awareness and boundaries, and a worker with boundaries who knows how to approach leadership and then realize either they're going to do something about it or they're not. And if they're not, I'm going to value me and I'm going to walk. That's what we want to come from this. So, very interesting trend. Congratulations, Sarah. You're doing a wonderful job. That is fun.